Hello, fellow YouTubers. Welcome to YouTube Gaming Community. I'm your host, Trouble835. So today, this video is basically based on a subject that some people are talking about today, obviously, that I'm going to talk about. And quite honestly, me and my wife are going out to a dinner / comedy play tonight with some friends, so we're going to go do that. So I don't have time to get videos done together today. But the subject we're going to talk about needs discussion by itself. It deserves it. So some of you may already be aware, today Nintendo basically has now claimed ads on any Let's Plays of Nintendo video games. In other words, any video game that Nintendo's made, they're now claiming Let's Plays on. Now, again, the one thing we don't know is how far back they're going. They didn't say whether this is just Wii U, whether it's all the way back to the NES. Nintendo recently got partnered with YouTube, and what they're doing is, like a lot of music and movie companies, they're basically taking their video game and putting it through YouTube's analytics, and so it's going out there searching for that kind of stuff, and they're not flagging videos and they're not taking channels down. They're basically taking control of the ads. So in other words, Nintendo's putting ad at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video, and instead of the person who owns the channel getting the money for those ads, Nintendo's getting the money. I'm going to read Nintendo's official statement towards this. Nintendo said, For most fan videos, this will not result in any changes. However, for those videos featuring Nintendo-owned content, such as images or audio of a certain length, adverts will now appear at the beginning, next to, or at the end of the clips. We continually want our fans to enjoy sharing Nintendo content on YouTube, and that is why, unlike other entertainment companies, we choose not to block people using our intellectual properties. Nintendo's right to protect copyright is enshrined in law, and YouTube's copyright guidelines, by the way, this is important, states that just because you purchase something, it does not mean you have the right to upload it. Again, this makes a lot of people uncomfortable when you talk about this, because a lot of people like to think when they buy something, they own it. Well, you don't. Due to the way the courts have ruled these days, you buy something, the company who made it allows you to temporarily use that product. That's why going digital with video games is very dangerous, because once we go all digital, at any time that game company say, you know what, you don't own that copy, we're going to take that copy of the game away from you. You're going to have to buy the new version of it. Or like with Modern Warfare 2, where they basically took maps out of the multiplayer version of the game because it made people uncomfortable. So let's be honest here. Nintendo owns the games. They own the rights to the games. There's no arguing that point to this argument. The point is, did Nintendo handle this properly? Because let's be honest here. What they've just done is now every big Let's Play channel on YouTube who's networked is not going to be doing Nintendo games because they know they're not going to get ads on their videos, especially people who make a living off of this. For people who just put videos up for fun, don't care about the money, don't care about the ads, they could continually put Nintendo videos up, not going to affect them at all. That's just the truth. Networks are going to start telling their people that are basically partnered with them to steer away from making Nintendo videos since they can't make money off Nintendo-owned. Now, that does not mean that you could still do Nintendo third-party games on their systems. Nintendo doesn't own those games. This is where it gets real tricky, though. This is something I wonder. If Nintendo published a game over here, does it give them the right to claim the game? Because, like, for example, Square Enix did not bring over Dragon Quest IX over here. It was actually Nintendo. This is going to get more interesting. Just like, how far did they go back with this? Now what's going to happen is people are going to steer this clear. What I think Nintendo should have done, honestly, they should have instead of doing this route, because this route is going to hurt their image even more. I mean, the truth is, how does doing this, I know people say, well, company own the right to things, but truthfully, as a company, it's not only about, do I own the right to something legally, but it's also, do I own the right to something, and how do I do something so that I don't exactly make my customers mad? In this case, they make the customers who are on YouTube promoting their product very mad. What they should have done is, and I've seen wrestling companies do this on YouTube and other companies do this, instead of taking down or instead of claiming the ads on everybody's video like they're doing, what they could have done is gone out and partnered the biggest channels that are doing Nintendo-owned content. Can you imagine if Nintendo announced, hey, guess what? Starting now, anybody who has a channel this size, you could partner with Nintendo. And you get the same, basically split as you would with the network. That way Nintendo would make money, and the person making the videos, since Nintendo's not doing any of the work, they just made the original game, is making money, and everybody's happy. People would rather who I think would have rather worked for Nintendo than an actual gaming network on YouTube. This is where I think Nintendo handled this badly on a PR standpoint. And I understand the politics of a big company that when they're sitting there looking at this, they obviously looked at the Sega things and they thought, okay, well, people are mad at Sega because they were striking down videos. No, people are mad at Sega because, one, they were striking down videos of fans who loved the product, and two, they were taking people's way to make money off of doing that. Now, listen, I don't think you should be making videos just for money. I think if you got to be making videos for what you love. But in YouTube, a lot of times that goes hand in hand. And when you affect one, you affect the other. Don't be honest. You heard Sega was striking down videos. That I know for sure that turns some people down from even being interested in buying a Sega product. Nintendo doing this is going to turn people off who might have been interested in buying a Wii U or a 3DS. Or maybe stop them buying games because of how bad this is affecting everybody in the community one way or the other. Again, sometimes big companies need to sit down and think of a way that is beneficial for both the fans and themselves. Now, this is not a precedent. Remember, Nintendo in the early days didn't like anybody using their stuff at all. This is a precedent Nintendo's always had. The problem is Nintendo does this now, and tomorrow Nintendo has a Nintendo Direct for the 3DS and Wii U. And nobody's going to be playing the games and promoting them because now they're worried that Nintendo's going to take the ads away from them. That is if you make a living off of this, then that affects you. For people who just do who are like, you know what, screw the ads, I don't care about that, screw that all stuff, screw it, I'm just here making videos of games I like, this doesn't affect you at all. Would it affect me from actually making a gameplay, a Nintendo game? No. I know going into it that I'm just not going to get anything out of it outside of my love of that game. And that's where I think this changes, where eventually, I know people are worried that this sets a precedent that other game companies are going to come in and say, you can't make money off my games. I think they all need to seriously sit down and think, you know what, like for example, Activision. Activision would be incredibly smart if they went out and got the biggest Call of Duty, channels on YouTube and partnered them with Activision. They'd be making money off the game, and they'd be making money off the videos. I think this is something that game companies, again, all entertainment companies need to stretch their mind around the internet, and they can't, and that's the problem. They don't understand it. It's like they think that the old ways of doing business work, and they don't work here because now the people who are making these stuff are also your fans. So you're attacking your fans when you do things against them, and they need to learn to do things differently. So that's my thoughts on the subject, guys. So, guys, what is your thoughts on Nintendo claiming ads on videos? What are your thoughts of what's going to happen in the future of Let's Plays? Listen, I know some people don't like Let's Plays, but I understand why people do it because it's the easiest. If you love a game and you're going to play it anyway, then you're like, why don't I just put videos up on YouTube of me playing that game? And also, it's a great way for people in the community to come together and make videos together. So, what do you think about Nintendo? What do you think about them claiming the ads? What do you think would have been a better way for Nintendo to handle this? And does this change your opinion of Nintendo at all? Anyway, guys, love to hear your comments. I will talk to you guys again, maybe, hopefully, tomorrow. And like I say every video, simply as this. If you make videos, do it for fun. Be passionate for what you do. Be yourself. Be creative. And I will talk to you guys again.